Good morning and welcome, folks, to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas's Daily Free Winner Show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, Sports Memo. Now, guys, we waded through sickness, illness, some cancellations on guests, but don't fret. We got the best there is coming on in a moment. My friends, joining us today is a pioneer of the sports betting industry, Mr. Ross Benjamin. We're going to bring on Ross. Ross, happy Friday to you, and thank you. You know, guys, Ross is he's a real trooper, man. You know, not only is one of the best ever in the history of this business and one of the nicest people you ever meet, but we had some technical issues earlier, and Ross was so patient with us. So I want to thank you. Ross, today is Friday, but before I get into Friday, I want to say that now that you're on and I'm looking at us both sharing a screen, this is what Brad Pitt and George Clooney must feel like when they get together.
I knew that was coming.
They must get together on Clooney's yacht in Italy, and they must be sipping scotch, drinking cigars, talking about how successful they are, how much money they got, and how good-looking they are, because that's me and you together. That's all I want to say. We are two good-looking sons of bitches. That's all I want to say. But today is Friday, and a lot of you guys don't know this, but Ross is Italian, just like me. I'm Sicilian. We're both Sicilianos. And on Fridays, we do not do meat. I'm old school Italian, guys. I'm Catholic. I don't push my beliefs on anybody, but I'm old school. You know, on Fridays, we either did pizza, aglio olio, seafood, or, we went a different one with a pasta. So tonight, Ross, right after I do this show, I'm going to be making a tiramisu. My tiramisu is to die for. And I'm going to be making some tortellini. I'm going to go with a vodka sauce, something simple tonight. Fridays. Do you do meat on Fridays?
I do. I don't do it consciously. I grew up in a Catholic family. I'm Christian now, but and I'm an acting Christian. I'm not one of those guys that say, "Yeah, I'm Christian." I go to service every Sunday, so our set of rules are a little bit different than the Catholic set of rules. But I do appreciate where you're coming from because that's the way I grew up. You didn't. Fish fries were a big thing here in
I gotta tell you, Russ,
Western New York, on a Friday. So
absolutely. And do I think I'm going to go to a hotel to hell if I eat a cheeseburger today? No, I don't think so. I think that a lot of the guidelines, I think they're guidelines and a little sacrificing. So for me, I grew up that way. So we do aglio olio for all you Medigans out there, people that don't speak Italiano. Aglio olio is garlic and oil. It's a pasta with garlic and oil. We usually put in broccoli or spinach, or we do fish, man, or pizza. We do a plain pizza, no meat on it. So tonight I'm going to make some tortellini. I got a tiramisu going. And, I just wanted to bring it up because I know you're a paisan like me. And
so people know it. Benjamin is my middle name. It's just my DBA. I mean, my real first name is Rosario. Legal name is Rosario. So it's shortened to Ross. And my middle name is Benjamin. So a lot of people think I'm of Jewish descent, and that's okay. But I am Italian, and I'm proud of it.
I love doing it, and for me, it's really like, and I know for you too, Russ, because you're such a warm person. I know that you're a family guy and you're a friend guy. And to me, friends are the family we choose for ourselves. Trust me, I got a couple of family members, blood family members I can do without. I'm very close with my friends and family but to me, around the dinner table, it's always that. To me, it's a warm part of the day. Like literally, I know we all got our cell phones and our tablets by us 24/7. I don't allow cell phones I ask people not to have cell phones at the table. And we sit around, we BS. We bullshit about our day, about what's going on. And we interact and we experience one another while we eat good food. And to be honest with you, I got to go because we got a special birthday. I'm going to get a birthday present for somebody. I'm going to make a birthday announcement to the liquor store today. But I got a whole winery out here, man. I've got more wine than somebody who tells me, oh my God.
You better make me a meal when I come to Vegas in the end of August.
Absolutely. Listen, I can take you out. I can make you a meal.
We could sample some of that wine too.
That sounds good. I got a couple of reds, a couple of whites, but I think I'm going to do a little red tonight. Having said that, I want to send out a special happy birthday. A lot of you know him as one of the best in the world, as a handicapper, one of the most charming guys in any business, let alone our business. He's over at Wager Talk, Carmine Bianco. He's got a birthday this weekend. I want to send a special happy birthday to you, Carmine. Another Italiana. I love Carmine. And we are honored. My wife and I are honored, Ross. We're going to be joining in the birthday festivities with him and his family and some other Wager Talk and Sports Memo friends and family this weekend over at the Italian American Club. Happy birthday, Carmine. I wish
Happy
you
birthday,
health.
Carmine, and I hope you guys all enjoy yourself and make Carmine's day a special one.
Yep. And I want to wish him health, happiness, peace, and laughter. Having said that, guys, we
Hey,
like to have a
before we go on, how
sure.
about them damn New York Yankees, man?
My God.
Come 6-3 down in the bottom of the ninth last night, 3-run homer from Hicks, which I thought the place was going to explode, and then Aaron Judge comes through again to win the game 7-6.
Ross, I got to tell you, and I am a Yankee fan. I'm always going to be a Yankee.
Yeah.
I bleed Yankee pinstripes. That's what I bleed.
Hey.
But I want you to know this team is really a force. Not only are they winning games late, they're coming back, which over recent years they dropped games late. Their pitching let them down. But when you're scoring over 5 runs a game, and currently I think they're number 1 or number 2 in the league in scoring, and your pitching is ranked number 1 and 2, number 1 and number 2, you're going to pile up victories.
Yeah.
And this team is for real. And people say, at the beginning, well, Stanton and Judge are injury prone. Well, Garrett Cole. You know what, guys? When your 4th and 5th pitchers have 1 loss, and and you know what? I really do like, and I love this for all the sports. And I like this for any team that does this, but they're having fun. It's not just the pressure. Joe, they lose a game every once in a while. They don't sweat it. It takes the pressure off. They're having fun. And to me, that's what sports is about, is bringing community together. It's for rooting. Hey, I want to tell you, I hate everything Massachusetts. I don't like cream pie, baked beans. I don't drink tea. But I want you to know I love going to Fenway and watching a game because it's a great place. And I like the rivalry. And I always did. I grew up, Ross. Ross and I are around the same age. I grew up, the Yankees were really heated with the Royals. Then it became the Dodgers, but it was always the Red Sox. So, but it's the community about sports. It's coming together. Yeah. It's about going to a game with your kid, boy or girl. It's about Little League. It's about high school ball. It's about the community together. And that's what I love about sports. Yeah. And I could go off on another rant about participation trophies in Little League, but I will tell you that I love sports. And I love the fact that it brings people together. And 99.9% of people, fans, I could sit down with a Red Sox fan. There's always 1% somewhere. Let's not bring in the negative. But I can sit down with a Red Sox fan and talk sports and enjoy myself. Lakers can sit down with Celtics. These things get Cubs and White Sox. It's the great thing about sports. And it is really great, Russ. And I will tell you this. The Yankees are on pace for about 120, 121 games. Judge is on pace to break the real home run record in 154 games. I'm just happy they're winning. I'm happy. And
the best thing, Joe, is they're 52-18. And right now they're in a division where 4 of the 5 teams have a winning record. And so people can't say, well, they're beating nobody. There's 7 teams with a winning record in the American League right now. 4 of them are in the AL East, and the Yankees are 52-18 in that division. So, you could slice it any way you want. You could put any spin on it you want. They're earning their money. And I can't tell you the last time, being a Yankee fan since I've been a little kid. And again, folks, I try keeping that part of it out of the equation when I handicap. And quite frankly, between them and the Buffalo Bills, I try to stay away from those games because from a professional standpoint, I never want my heart to be involved. It's one thing being a fan, but when you start making decisions professionally based on your personal likes, that's where you start to get yourself in trouble. So, community. I mean, Western New York here, we have the Buffalo Bills, and there's nothing like it that brings a whole community together. And some success finally over the last few years, getting the playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years. So there's nothing like it. I mean, Monday mornings after a win and for the Bills, the community it's unbelievable how it just affects the mood of the community as a whole.
It is true. And what I do love about sports too is it's not just New York, Chicago, LA, Miami that have teams. Some of these smaller markets have teams.
Green Bay,
and,
it's.
And that's the whole state that gets involved with this team. And baseball, too. Listen, you could say what you want about any other team, any other sport. Baseball is America's pastime. And I'm going to tell you this, hands down, and not because he was a Yankee and he came from the Red Sox, the greatest non-Italian baseball player ever lived, Babe Ruth. While this country went through world wars and people were out of work and we went through, oh, my God, when people the country was broke. People
Yeah.
found a way to go to ball games because he brought them together. And still to this day, 100 years, almost, well, not 100, almost 100 years later, 70, 80 years later, Ross, when the Yankees go on the road, places
They're
that
the
don't
best
normally
traveling team in
sell out.
baseball. Yeah.
And it's good for baseball, and it's good for
Yeah.
sports. And you know what, guys, man, and Russ, I'll tell you this, even here in Vegas, we have the Las Vegas Aviators, which is the
AAA
AAA
team.
affiliate.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, there is nothing like going to a game with your family. I go with my dad. We were there opening day.
Yeah.
Father's 90. I love my father. My father, my wife went to the game. You have a beer and a hot dog. Everybody had to have a beer and a hot dog at the game. To me, one of the most beautiful things. To me, that's paradise. To me, it's literally like putting my foot on a Greek beach, putting my foot on the beach or one of the islands and just sitting in the warm water and, with my wife having a pina colada. That's paradise. Ball game, beer, hot dog, nothing better. Having said that, Ross, I got a couple announcements I want to say.
Sure.
Dionne's not here today. As you know, Dionne has been out most of the week, so prayers to the prettier half of the first family. We miss you, honey. But on a positive note, Ross, sports fans, Dionne is number 1 in WNBA. The last week. She started WNBA, Ross, 8-1 thus far, and she has a discount, 1 month. WNBA just $59. Use code WNBA30. And I got to tell you, Ross, while the cat's away, though, the mice will play. It's the He-Man Club today. Sports Memo is so close.
Good for Dionne, man. That's impressive, because not a lot of people handicapped WNBA, so.
Let me tell you, Ross, and I'm going to get in trouble, and this is why I said a cat's away. I can't get away with this when she's here. I always feel like Tom Hanks in a league of their own. Women are what you play with during the game and what you play with after. So I always scoff at female sports.
That'll
Let me tell you why I scoff
a lot of
at it.
circles, Joe.
Ross, it's the same reason why I scoff at hockey. I just don't do it. And it's easier for me to scoff at it than explain why I don't do those sports. I stay with what I'm successful at.
Yes.
College and pro football, college and pro basketball, and baseball, the big 5 for me. But if I just make a joke and scoff at it, then people don't ask me about it anymore. All the respect in the world, Ross. All the respect in the world for women. They are the stronger and the smarter sex. They're smarter than us. And God did not trust us to carry or give birth. So they are stronger. So I want you to know I always make jokes about it. But it is so great also, Ross, because, working with Joe D'Amico, and I'm not throwing I'm a bragger, but I'm not working with Joe D'Amico, is not having the same last name is not easy. It's like Pete Rose's kid playing baseball, man. There's a lot of pressure on you. There really is. And she has pressure on her to succeed. And listen, a year and a half ago when she went pro as a handicapper, top 5 college basketball, top 5 college football. But now I don't do WNBA. 8-1. She's got a discount. Hats off to the prettier and smarter.
Hey, jump in, folks. You know what? I mean, there's money to be made. A lot of you out there will tell us as handicappers, you know what, Joe and Ross, I don't watch the WNBA. Well, the object is to win, not to watch. Okay. So when you invest in stocks, are you watching the board for 4 hours? No. You're most times than not, you're picking up the paper the next day, or you're going on your computer to see how your stocks are doing. Okay. So same thing in sports betting. We're advisors, you know what I mean? And good ones. And 8-1 speaks volumes. So I don't care if you're not watching the WNBA or not. The young lady is killing it. Get in there and purchase from her.
Well, she put out a 10-unit play last night that crushed it, and I didn't know till last night late. We don't watch games, guys. We wait until we wake up at like 2 a.m. But kudos to Dan. There's a few other things I'd like to talk about, Russ. Sports Memo is so close on YouTube to 5,000 subscribers. We want to hit it this weekend. You could help us do it. Please hit that subscribe button. There's a few discounts I want to tell everybody about. Then we're going to go through today's free plays. Also, tune in later today to Full Count Sports Memo's MLB Betting Coverage Show. I'm going to be hosting. Joining me, KT, Kevin Thomas, and Jeff Michaels, a.k.a. JM Sports. So make any of your Friday MLB betting decisions until then. Also, my friends, saving your money is just as good as making your money. The great folks at Sports Memo, they put out the most inexpensive discount in the college and pro football combo. There is $7.99 you get it for, and you got a chance at a huge amount of wager bucks. Now, if you don't want to dip your toe and dive right in, let me try that again. Reverse that. Little dyslexia. If you don't want to dive right in and you want to dip your toe first, They put out 2 days ago a discount on preseason football. There's about a dozen of us cappers at Sports Memo that are going to do preseason. Go take advantage of that. Let's do this, Russ. I think that's really about it. That's it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on a 9-2 run, and Dionne is 66% this past week on baseball. They've given us a 7-day MLB discount, $49. Just use code SWING49. Ross, without any further ado, I got to tell you, man, I say it every time you're on the show and every time I see your name, which is every day on the Sports Memo leaderboards, because even when you're not on the show, I talk about you. You deserve it. You deserve all the accolades in the world.
I appreciate it.
Ross, I say it all the time. You do something once, you do it twice, you're lucky. You do it over decades. Now, Ross and I, we look pretty good for our ages, but I'm going to tell you now, we're not kids anymore. And I'll tell you this, Ross has been winning for decades. He is all over the Sports Memo leaderboards. He's got a free play he's going to tell you about it in a moment, but he's going to tell you what he's got on the premium side tonight and maybe over the weekend that he's excited about. Ross, the floor is yours.
Okay, so let me touch upon some stuff that might be not exactly what Joe was referring to. I mean, we were talking off air, and the folks over at Sports Memo, let me say this, in the short time I've been there, which is a little over a year, one of the best companies I've ever worked for. And again, it's the same people that run Wager Talk Media and Wager Talk, and why they're so successful. Not only how they treat the customers and the clients, but how they treat their handicappers. And I can't say enough about them. And if you go to my page at Sports Memo, you'll see similar discounted packages, subscription plans that you could use as well. So again, my Major League Baseball, my run line plays are 9-3 in the last 12. Why do I bring that up? Because a lot of this season, Joe, we've seen a lot of big chalks. I mean, it's now common occurrence where you look at the Major League Baseball daily card and over half the games are money line favorites of -150 or greater, which I can't recall that occurring this early in the season. Now, when we get into late August and September, yes, that's common occurrence, but not now. Major League Baseball totals as well. So, if you don't play Major League Baseball totals, you're cutting half the board out of your ability to pick winners. And to me, and I think Joe would agree with this, I don't know if he plays totals, but that's okay. But I think Joe would agree with me when saying that the more options you give guys like us in terms of what they can choose from, the better chance he or Joe is going to have to win. So keep that in mind as well, folks. I have 10-star top plays that I use everywhere else as my trademark, but I've had to adjust at Sports Memo to the system they use, and that's okay. I think it's a great system. My top plays are 4 units and above. And those plays of 4 units and above in Major League Baseball this season, 6-2. As you can see, I'm very selective when I put those plays out. And since the since the beginning of last year, 48-25 with those plays, 66% in Major League Baseball top plays of 4 units or greater. Folks, it doesn't get much better than that. And I do not give out big chalks. You're not going to see me give out 150, 160, 170, -180 or more chalks. Yeah, if you want to deplete your bankroll, you could do that on your own. So a lot of good things happening, Joe, in preseason. I've done awfully well over the years, and I'm looking forward to the NFL preseason because it's football. And looking forward to that as well, Joe.
That's just great stuff, Ross. Ross, I know you've got another free winner, and I got to tell you, man, sports fans, his free winners just kick butt. They take names and they kick butt. And if a free plays can win on the percentage that they win, imagine what his premium plays can do. He's got a free play winner for you today. He's going to give it to you. I'm going to sit back while he's giving it to you. I'm going to go to Sports Memo myself. I'm taking out my credit card, and I'm going to buy Ross for the weekend. And I know you're going to do the same thing. Ross, tell everybody your free play, buddy.
All right, it comes in the game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres. That game will go in San Diego at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the listed starting pitchers are Aaron Nola for the Philadelphia Phillies and Mackenzie Gore for the San Diego Padres. Nola has been red hot over his last 3 starts. How hot, folks? How about a 0.78 ERA, an 0.65 WHIP, and averaging 7.7 innings pitched per start? Why is that important that I mentioned Nola's innings pitched per start? Because the Philadelphia bullpen isn't very good, hasn't been very good over the last 3 years. And anytime when that occurrence happens, you get a starting pitcher that eats up a lot of innings and quality innings. It certainly could hide that flaw. His last 4 away, meaning Aaron Nola, 7.8 innings pitched per start, and doing very well with under a 2 ERA. So things are really good in terms of Phillies' chances when it comes to their starting pitcher. This is a Phillies team that's 18-17 on the road. Not great, but certainly respectable. And they're averaging over 5 runs per game on the road and hitting 49 home runs while doing so. And Mackenzie Gore gets a start for the San Diego Padres. Joe, he's been pretty good most of the year, but not the last 2 starts. Over his last 2 starts, how about 14 earned runs allowed in just 6 1/3 innings pitched, and giving up 14 hits and walking 7 in 6 1/3 innings pitched. That's horrible, folks. And for those of you keeping score at home, he has an astronomical 1991 ERA and 332 WHIP in those last 2 starts. Whoa, that's just absolutely horrible. This is a Padres team that's actually been better on the road than they have been at home. They're 24-14 on the road, which is a 632 win percentage, and just 20-14 at home. Still a good record, but they're losing money at home in terms of when you bet on them, because there's several times they're a heavy favorite at home. The Padres only average 3.9 runs per game at home as well. And Sam, you come into this matchup, and these are the types of situations that jump out at me. You got a San Diego team that's 6.5 games better than the Phillies in the standings right now. Yet it's the Phillies as a minus 125 road money line favorite. So the books just aren't that nice. Okay. And I'm going to jump all over the Philadelphia Phillies here, minus 125, even though the odds makers are begging you to take the home underdog. I'm not falling for the bait. Philadelphia, minus 125 over San Diego on Friday evening.
A pioneer of the sports betting industry, Ross Benjamin. He's made a believer out of me. I know he's made one out of you. Phillies, minus $1.25. Take it. Guys, go over to Sports Betting after this show. Take advantage of those wonderful customer appreciation discounts. Follow Ross. I'm going to tell you now, do it once, do it twice. You're lucky. Do it for decades. You're great. By the way, Ross, while you were talking, I was so enamored with what you were saying. A great breakdown once again. By the way, when I talk about whipping, the whip, it's usually in a different conversation. But that's for the
hey, Joe, but I do, so people know whip is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. A lot of you out there know that, but some of you don't, and what's he talking about whip? I put a lot more emphasis on a whip than I do the ERA, because sometimes the ERA could be misleading. A high ERA with a lower whip, to me, looks, the guy just gave up a couple long balls, possibly. He was pitching to the score. They were up 5 or 6 runs in the game, that kind of thing. And sometimes a low ERA with a high whip just tells me that pitchers have been extremely lucky and been wiggling out of a lot of jams. So I really do put more emphasis on whip than I do ERA.
That's great stuff from a pioneer of the sports betting industry, Ross Benjamin. Ross, as you were talking, I was thinking, forget about Pitt and Clooney. I think we're Newman and Redford. We're a little bit older. We get the younger girls and the older girls now. Ross is going to hang out for a couple of minutes. I do appreciate all your contributions today, Ross. I'm going to tell you about what I got going on. Ross will be back in just a moment, folks. Well, guys, it's time to adjust the volumes on your tablet, your phone, your PC. I'm going to tell you why, because I am very excited. I'm so excited. You're not going to need a Viagra today. With another winning day on Thursday, I'm not just red hot. I am scorching. 9-2 overall run. $100 bettors are up $3,192 during this run. This includes an 8-2 MLB hot streak today. I have a 5% NL Central game of the month. My 5 and 10% plays are on a 46 and 22 run. Just to let you know, this year, this calendar year, 2022, my 10% plays 11 and 0. The only record in sports better than that was Rocky Marciano's win record, 49 and 0. By the way, another great Italian. So follow the best big game hunter here on the planet, and together we're going to hunt, stalk, and kill the books. This big game winner is available right now at Sports Memo for just $15, or you can take advantage of my big baseball discount. 7 days, $49. Comes to $7 a day. Use code SWING49. Now let's go today's free play, guys. I'll tell you, this might be an oxymoron, but I don't think I've ever said this in a sentence. We're going to Pirates today. For today's free play, let's go to Diamond for some interleague actions. The Pirates visit Tropicana Field to take on the Rays in Game 1 of this series. My friends, it's no secret that Tampa Bay is struggling. They've dropped 7 of their last 9 to sink into 4th place in the AL East, 14.5 games back. Believe it or not, at 29-40 and in 3rd place in the NL Central, 9.5 games back, Pittsburgh is actually doing pretty well. Well, to talk turkey, let's be honest, the Central is definitely a 2-horse race between Milwaukee and St. Louis. And I think Pittsburgh is doing well, being that Milwaukee and St. Louis are so strong in that division. Now, the AL East, as Ross mentioned earlier, the most competitive division in baseball sports, 4 teams with winning records. The Pirates enter this matchup winning 4 of their last 5. And let's go back to the Rays now real quick, folks. During their current slide, they've accounted for 5 or more runs just twice over the last 9 outings. While these 2 teams haven't met since 2017, Pittsburgh has taken 4 of the last 5 meetings in Tampa Bay and 4 of the last 6 overall meetings. I really feel there's an ideal time to capitalize on the fact that Tampa Bay is struggling at the plate. They're really hurting. They're slumping there, guys. The Rays are 0-4 the last 4 during Game 1 of the series, 1-5 the last 6 versus right-handed starters, 1-4 the last 5 on Fridays. They go into the weekend losers. I'm taking Pittsburgh on the run line, plus 1.5, minus 120. It's a winner. We're going to bring my Redford back. You know, Redford and him, he's got better hair. So
hey, I can tell you one thing.
You're definitely Robert Redford, though, Ross, because you got better hair.
We pick games better than Robert Redford and Paul Newman. So anyway, you know, Joe, it just occurred to me, if everything else goes south, you could always be a voiceover on one of those commercials where they read the fine print. I mean, you know. So
yeah, I would tell you.
And one other thing.
Yeah.
If they ever did a movie on my life, I want you to play the lead.
Oh, my. I don't have the hair. I got to get a really good pay for that one, I don't know, Ross. I mean, that's like, I don't know. That's like asking Newman to play Redford. That's still a tough one, you know?
Yeah.
Guys, before we run down the free plays and get some closing thoughts from Ross Benjamin, once again, prayers to the prettier half of the First family. We miss you, honey, but on a positive note, Dionne and D'Amico, number 1 in WNBA, 8-1 thus far. Discount, 1 month WNBA, $59. Use code WNBA30. And guys, listen to me. Please, we need your help. Sports Memo is so close to 5,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. Tune in later today to Full Count, Sports Memo's betting coverage show. I'm going to be hosting. Kevin Thomas, Jeff Michael's going to be stopping by. Don't make any of your MLB betting decisions for Friday until you tune into that. The discounts we got. The NFL, NCAA football early bird, huge discount, $7.99 plus wager bucks. Guys, also, that huge NFL preseason discount for about a dozen or so cappers at Sports Memo. Also, we have a 7-day MLB discount, just $49. Use code SWING49. That's for Dean and myself. Please go to Sports Memo's YouTube channel. Subscribe. We want to hit 5,000 subscribers this weekend. And go to the Sports Memo Twitter page. The best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet at Sports Memo. We each post tons of free stuff. You get futures, you get odds. Also, Eric Pauly, who's a capper over at Sports Memo, doing great work. He writes a lot of great columns, in-depth columns. So go over there. We're going to run down today's free plays. Then I'm going to get some closing thoughts from Ross. Ross, what did you have one more time?
I got the Philadelphia Phillies minus 125 as a moneyline road favorite at San Diego on Friday evening.
And your host, Paul Newman, has got the Pirates plus 1.5, minus 120. Ross, I'm going to take us out of here in a moment, but I can't take us out of here until we get some closing thoughts and comments from a pioneer, the pioneer.
Yeah, you know, Joe, you were talking about the YouTube channel, and folks, if you look at the lineup of handicappers, not only at Wager Talk, good, you know, there's a lot of great handicappers at Wager Talk. There's a reason why that site is so successful, but we are under the same roof, if you may, at Sports Memo, and our lineup is pretty impressive as well. And we don't take a back seat to anybody, including me and Joe. Definitely don't take a back seat to anybody. It's just the way we go. That's the way we're wired. And you were mentioning the YouTube channel, folks. There's no obligation. I mean, you click on that subscribe button, you hit the notification bell, and anytime any videos go up on our channel, you'll be notified immediately. And instead of having to keep going back to the site and saying, "Hey, when's the first Family to Las Vegas on?" Because a lot of us run on flexible schedules and we don't always go on a set time. But look, no strings attached, no pressure. And if you want to watch the videos, fine. If not, you'll be alerted and you can make that decision at the time. But there's no price, there's no guarantee, there's no obligations, there's no subscription plans. Why wouldn't you hit that subscribe button? Very easy. Hit that notification bell. And Joe, I could tell you, by the time we talk the next time, we're going to be over 5,000 subscribers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Robert Redford. You look great today. Ross, I want you to know it's always a pleasure to share a panel with you. My friends, before Ross and I have been friends for many years. But before Ross and I were friends, I respected him in this industry because, man, it's like walking down, into the dugout in Yankee Stadium. And even if you're Aaron Judge now or Derek Jeter before him, you knew that Mantle and DiMaggio and Garrick and Ruth were down there. And that's what you get when you get Ross Benjamin. He is one of the best to ever hit the batter's back in Yankee Stadium. I love him. My friend, we're going to take off out of here. So tune in every day next week. Hopefully, Dan will be back and feeling better. We have tons of special guests and tons more of free winners. On behalf of Sports Memo, Ross, and us, this is the first stream of Las Vegas. And guys, don't forget to subscribe and comment. We won in 5,000 this weekend. This is Joe D'Amico. Good luck and have a winning day.